Yeah, we are laying up to stuff. Yeah.
Hey guys, this is Backdraft, and welcome to a milestone episode on the Symmetria server. This is episode number 20. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, since the last episode, we have done a little bit more work on the wall surrounding the palace. So as you can see in a couple live streams, and of course at the end of last episode, we got a lot of work done with the wall. So we got the front part of the wall done. We actually have the side complete over here as well, which we were able to finish in a live stream. And we have the entire back part of the palace completely whacked out so that we can start putting in the wall. So all we have to do for the wall surrounding the palace is finish up the back here and that side over there. And I will probably try and finish that by the end of this episode. And I also want to get started on the wall surrounding the city. So last episode, we built this super awesome wood farm, and since then, we have done some AFK with it. And before I show you what we got, I have to tell you, this is only about an hour of AFK. That is a lot of wood! It's almost 2 double chests full of wood for almost an hour. It's just about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour of AFK. We used about 5 to 10 stacks of TNT and almost a double chest and a half of bone meal. But we got all that wood. This is way more than we're gonna need, at least for now. So that should be way more than enough wood to finish up the wall around the palace and probably get a good chunk of the wall around the city done. And like I said, we're gonna do that before this episode is over. And of course, on the other hand, this is a milestone episode. We are finally into the 20s, episode number 20 on the server. Thank you guys so much for watching up to this point. If you've been watching the series thus far, watching other videos on my channel, and you have not hit that subscribe button yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. I'm currently trying to surpass 600 subscribers and then get on my way to 750 subscribers. Thank you guys for all your support thus far. And to celebrate this milestone episode, we are going to start off by pulling some pranks on our fellow Symmetrians. And I have an idea for a prank. I'm warning you, it's really weird if you don't get the reference, but essentially it involves this. I am Meatball Draft. We're gonna meatball the Symmetrians. Just gotta kill myself a bunch of times. This is gonna take a while. One down. Nothing to see here. Go away. Nothing to see here. Why are you hitting yourself, Backdraft? Nothing to see here. I don't speak English. Okay, that's like 6 or 7. Kubis, I don't know what you're doing, but there's nothing to see here. Nothing's going on. Don't worry about it. Just nothing's nothing to see here. All right, we finally have 10 meatballs. Now to figure out who to meatball. I wonder if we could get Bex. She's totally not online. Hey! I just always have to point out how awesome her map art is. Her base is so cool. Ooh, look, a pufferfish. Now to hide the meatballs. You have been meatballed. You've been meatballed. Okay, who do we meatball next? We're totally gonna meatball Boofty. His battle cruiser is gigantic. It's gonna take him forever to find all the meatballs. Battle cruiser operational. You've been meatballed. Are you ready for some meatball? Well, now that we're done with the best prank ever that is in no way weird or odd, on to bigger and better things. Happy episode 20. Well, here we are with so little wall to build and so much time to do it. Wait, no, reverse that. Yep, reverse that. Anyway, it's time to get started on the wall. I'm going to absolutely 110% finish up the wall around the palace, and then I think we're actually gonna get started on the wall around the city because I want to see how that turns out. So we're gonna start this off with a third-person time lapse. I hope you guys enjoy and roll that music. I hope you guys enjoyed the wall building time lapse. And as you can see behind me, we got about 2/3 maybe of the, that's really close, about 2/3 of the way done with the wall around the city. So this put a big dent in my materials, but that's okay. With our amazing wood farm, we had plenty of wood that we needed. Let me do a quick fly around and just show you guys what we ended up with. So here's the wall around the city. This is essentially the design that we're going for. We're gonna have to do a little bit of something more fancy to get around these curves here, but I'm not too worried about it. It should look just fine. On the other hand, around the palace, we finally finished the wall surrounding and on the inside of the palace, and it is looking super cool. Let me know what you guys think. I'm actually really proud of this design. So the original bottleneck in materials was wood, and now that we have the wood farm, we are all covered on that front. But the new bottleneck on materials is red nether brick. So there is quite a bit of red nether brick that we need for the walls and the slabs. The walls and the slabs for the walls. That sounded weird in my head. But anyway, so we need a lot of redstone brick walls and redstone brick. I cannot speak. What is wrong with my brain? Red nether brick walls and red nether brick slabs. There we go. That's what we need a lot of. And red nether brick has just been something that I've either been buying from the shopping district or have been spending a lot of time gathering up all the nether brick, doing pigment trading to get it, and harvesting all of the warp blocks that we need to make the red nether brick. But up to this point, I don't feel like doing that anymore. So we can farm the nether brick that we need very easily from the gold farm through pigment trading. But to get the red nether wart that we need to make the red nether brick, we can get that from our netherwood farm, but I'm kind of running low on bone meal right now, and I hate having to make huge dents in the community bone meal farms. So with the remainder of this episode, we have a brand new project. On a side note, when I was working on the inside of the wall for the city, I ran to my shulker box real quick and came back, and there was just a random block of emerald, a random block of emerald chilling on the wall. And I looked around, I didn't see anybody, and it wasn't there 2 seconds before. I don't know where these are coming from, but there's another one, and another one in my bedroom. What is going on here? Whoever this is really dedicated. I'm not losing my mind, right? You guys see the emerald blocks too, right? I don't know what's going on. Well, thank you, whoever you are, mysterious emerald block person. But anyway, as I said, we have a brand new project for this episode. And behind my base, fortunately for me, there is plenty of ocean. And with this ocean, we can build ourselves a proper mob farm. And I know what you're wondering, Backdraft, you already have a mob farm. Well, that mob farm is dinky and doofy, and I don't like it. So we're gonna build ourselves a proper mob farm, a really, really nice, big, juicy mob farm that's gonna get us all the bones and gunpowder and everything else that you could think of that we're gonna need for the rest of the season. I popped over to my creative testing backup world of the Symmetria server. You can see the palace is right behind us, and I have set up the mob farm that we are going to build on the live server. So this thing is quite the monstrosity. It's not really my design for a mob farm. The idea of building platforms with water dispensers is kind of an old concept now when it comes to mob farms, but essentially I took 4 of the traditional mob farm design. I think the credit goes originally for this type of farm to Il Mango, so shout out to Il Mango. But essentially we lined 4 of them up symmetrically, and we have our player, actually, right now I'm in a camera account. Right now we have our player AFKing at the top of the world right here. And I've set it up such that only mobs will be able to spawn on these platforms when the player is up there. Now, also, of course, on the server, when there's other players online and all that, we're not gonna get the rates that we get on the creative server. But as you guys can see, this thing cranks out mobs. So there is about 15 or 16 seconds in between the pulses of the water dispensers, so the mobs will have time to spawn on the platforms. Then the water dispensers will come out, push them down into this main channel down here, and as you can see, they will all funnel down into the center here, where most of them will die from fall damage. Sometimes spiders get stuck, but not too big of a deal. We'll deal with that. Witches are the only ones that won't die from the fall damage, but they'll die from the magma blocks. So this thing, I don't actually know the rates. I haven't had enough time to test it out, but it does crank them out. We've been running it for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and we have several stacks of each of the drops that we're looking to get. No spider eyes yet. That's kind of odd, but that's fine. So we got gunpowder, we've got bones, string, rotten flesh. Spider eyes go in there. I guess they're rarer than I thought. Arrows here, and then any other miscellaneous stuff. So it looks like we had a chicken jockey, we had a couple witches, and sometimes the items flow past and they don't make it into their designated hopper, but that's okay. That's what the overflow chest is for. We can always sort that out after the fact. 99% of the items will make it into their respective chest with the sorting system we have set up back here. Oh, it actually looks like there's a couple slabs that mobs can spawn on over here. Probably that one and those 2 over here. We're gonna have to mob proof those when we're using the farm. But essentially what this is, if you guys aren't familiar with this, we have the filterable hoppers right here. So we have the filtration system, it's just a basic item sorting system. And on top of the hoppers, we have transparent blocks, which actually aren't full blocks. In this case, we're using honey. And we're pushing the items with the water stream up against those honey blocks. And as you can see, they're getting sucked up by the hoppers underneath. This is a pretty cool design. It's essentially lossless. There's no way you can clog the system up with this, really. I mean, if all of the chests fill up, there's, I think, 8 double chests per item. If all those chests were to fill up, then the items would just hang out here in the water streams and eventually despawn. That way we're not clogging up hoppers, like I said before. So like I said, this thing is cranking out items. Now, as you can see, the scale of the farm is just massive. It's going to take us probably quite a while to build this on the live server, so I think it's time that we get started. Alrighty, we're back on the server, and I have gotten started with the build. So as you guys can see, we already have the storage area set up and the collection area with the water streams and the magma blocks and the drop chute for the mobs. So from here, we just have to build the big old bowl where the mobs will be filtered into the drop chute. And after that, of course, all of the spawning platforms in the AFK spots. So there's still a lot of work that has to be done with this, and I think we're going to finish it up in another third-person time lapse. So I hope you guys enjoy, and roll that music. you have it, folks. The mega mob farm is finally done. And you know what? I'm a little worried that this thing is gonna peg the server because it's so huge and there's so much redstone in it. I don't know. We're gonna have to do some testing with it. Hopefully we're not gonna bring the server down, but anyway, let me show you guys what we're working with this bad boy. So we got the storage system right down here, just like I showcased in the creative server. And we already have this thing rolling. It really doesn't have too much in it yet. Just because we obviously haven't done any AFK at this point. It looks like we did get a witch come through, which is pretty cool. So essentially, I now have 2 columns for bones. I think that's one thing that I changed because I actually didn't realize, because I'm a total jagweed, that you don't get spider eyes unless you kill the spiders yourself. So instead of having a spider eye column, we just have 2 for bones, because bones is pretty much what we're after the most from this farm. So it is already working. You can hear the items coming through, a couple coming through the water stream right there. So let's fly up to the top and we'll see what's going on. So here are the spawning platforms. One thing that I did reverse as one of the recommendations of one of my viewers is we have 2 columns going at once and the other 2 pushing the mobs down, so we have a constant flow of mobs through the farm. I don't really think it makes that much of a difference. It's just something that I wanted to do to make sure that we're constantly getting mobs through and we're constantly allowing spawns because of how sporadic this server is. And here is the roof, which took 15,000 years to build. We ended up using, I think, 4 or 5 double chests, which is about 8 to 10 shulker boxes of stone for this farm, which is quite insane. But this is the redstone. It's not that complicated. Essentially, we just have a silent clock, if I could get over there. We have a silent clock going, and every 30 seconds or so, I think is what it is. There's something like that, 30 seconds. Actually, I think it's more like 20 seconds. Every 20 seconds, it's going to alternate between pushing mobs and letting mobs spawn on the corresponding platforms. We have a master kill switch right here, which will turn the clock off and deactivate the farm. And we have some levers downstairs, which will turn off the hopper minecarts in the storage system. Now, right up here, we have the AFK platform, which I just built out of glass so that we can be safe inside of it when we AFK. And once I get up here, I'll show you guys exactly how high up we are. So we are pretty far away from the palace right now. The render distance on the server is automatically set, so we can't really see the palace. We're pretty far away, like I said. But essentially, that is it. Hopefully, we get tons of drops out of this. There is quite a few people online right now, so I don't know the rates that we're going to get out of it. But either way, it is time for us to do some, and I was trying to be really cool and land on the side of that stone right there, but it is time for us to do some AFK with this farm, and that is all the time I have for this episode, ladies and gents. If you liked it, please do not hesitate to hit that thumbs up. I spent tons of time building this farm, so I would appreciate a like if you guys could do that for me. And if you are looking forward to future episodes on this server, then hit that subscribe button and check me out live streaming on Wednesdays and Sundays between 6 and 7 o'clock EST. I look forward to seeing you guys. Make sure to bring all your friends as well. All right, thank you so much. Happy episode 20. This has been a fantastic milestone episode, and I will see you guys again. Take care. Bye bye.
We are in the place to be. Yeah, yeah, yeah.